Hello and welcome back to the Perth to Paisley podcast, episode number 189. Since we last spoke to you, Hearts just keep on winning. 2025 is pretty much the exact way every single Hearts fan wanted it to go. Forget about 2024. We've scored hundreds of goals. We've went away and had one of the best performances we've had in years. We've signed players. Players have left. I'm ill. It's all happening. So yeah, we missed last week because I didn't have a voice at all. And
Let's
that
get
would
out of the
be,
way early.
yeah, exactly. I'm still not great. So I'm hosting, but Adam's going to be doing a lot of talking. As ever, I am, Daniel McIver, sounding very hoarse. And it's not just because I've been celebrating Elton Cabangu goals. It's for other reasons as well. But I'm, as ever, joined by Adam Kennedy. Adam, how are you?
Let's talk about six, baby. Let's talk about Neil Critchley. Let's talk about Shankland Spittle and Cabangu in Dundee. Let's talk about six.
Well
Come
done.
on! I am absolutely delighted, Mr. McIver. I could not be any happier after that wonderful weekend win on Tayside. I'm buzzing. Absolutely ecstatic. How are you?
I'm good outside the illness. It would
That's
be a
good.
lot worse if Hearts were rubbish as they were last year, as I'm suffering through it. But I've always had the lovely notion of, oh no, I've got Cammy Devlin, and therefore I'm absolutely fine. So, yeah, we've got a lot to talk about. We've had a couple of games. The transfer window has now ended. Preview of cup games, everything like that. So, we're going to do things a wee bit differently. Because the Kilmarnock game was so long ago, we're just going to speak about the goals because let's be honest, we just want to speak about Dundee. That's the
Yes.
important thing. So we'll start with that. However, to just kind of not start on really bad news, but it is very sad news that I will get the official club record up from what happened because almost like hours after we beat Kilmarnock, the news came through that Anthony Basso, former Heart of Midlothian keeper, had died aged just 45, which is just horrific. Basso, interestingly, to do with this podcast, actually appeared semi recently in a Who Am I
Yes, he did.
segment as well, which was really weird timing. The club just said the club are very unfortunate to hear the news of the tragic passing of Anthony Basso, aged just 45. The Frenchman played for Hearts for a number of years and made his biggest impact, perhaps to many, in a League Cup game against Celtic at Celtic Park. I think is that the one where Michael Stewart scored the penalty?
I was just about to ask. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the Mikey
The
Stewart
1
pen.
0 yeah.
Yeah,
Um, it's just horrifically sad.
yeah, awful, absolutely awful. 45 is no age at all. Is he leaving behind wife, kids?
I'm
Like
not
that's
totally sure, actually. That is a very good question.
unsure of his situation, but regardless, like I say, 45, no age at all, and it really came out of the blue. I I don't know if it's because we're a particular age, but like it's it's really not nice because we're both still young. We're both mid
Yeah,
20s. Like when we see players that
I'm late
have
20s
put,
now, but.
you know what I mean. You shouldn't have mentioned that. But I think it's just so sad the players that we've seen
Yeah.
pull on that shirt, and I've grown up watching. Uh, it's it's just really really sad, really tragic. I can't think of any other words to sum it up. Really, like even just going along to watch Hearts, like it's something that you don't think about. It doesn't cross your mind at all. It's really
Yeah.
sad.
It very much is, and much like everybody else has said, our thoughts go out to his family and friends. We wanted to say that at the start,
Exactly.
so then we can move on to happier things. Please don't think we're trivializing anything by moving on to how good everything is just now. But as I say, that news came out just a few hours after Kilmarnock travelled to Tynecastle, and I think most people thought it was going to be a deja vu of Kilmarnock just inexplicably get results at Tynecastle, but no. Hearts ran out 3-2 victors with some great goals, some weird goals, some goals you're
Hilarious
probably never
goals.
going to see ever again. So, as I say, I'm just going to run through the five goals In the 7th minute, a long ball from Craig Gordon finds its way to Wilson after there's controversy with
I was going to
Cabangu
say,
and Joe
Derek
Wright.
McInnes wasn't happy at this, was he?
Yeah. He crosses to Grant, whose effort flies back to Wilson. He then finds Cabangu, who's just standing on the penalty spot, for a tap in. Cabangu scores within under 10 minutes of his home debut. We will speak about Cabangu a lot more generally, but Mr. likes a fast start. He must have been buzzing.
Absolutely, I was. Yeah. Um, Very uncharacteristic of Hearts. Let's just say that. Um, and yeah, I mean, this was just the ultimate cross come, shot come, pass come,
Yeah.
whatever the hell you want it to be. It was like pinball. But we take those. Ellen Kabangu takes those. Uh, I'm just gonna come out and say it now. They say don't get attached to a lone player. I am in far too deep.
But you can
I
get attached when there's an option to buy. That's
Well, that's
fine.
exactly it. I mean, I'm going to start a GoFundMe already because I love him. I really do. He's a centre forward that I've just been crying out for something different, something new. Yeah, just he's even his celebration. Like I love him. I love his pace. I love his power. I love his finishing. I love his teamwork. I love the fact that he likes being here. I love Jamestown. I'm fully on board. I honestly can't speak highly enough of the guy. He's
See,
been here 5 minutes.
stats are fun. Okay, stats are fun. Now there was then just a crazy 15-minute period in the second half. In the 51st minute, Kilmarnock do equalise. Molly Watkins
This
does
is really
actually.
annoying because it
It
comes
is
out of
really annoying.
nothing. Like
Yeah,
Kelly had done next to nothing. That first half, I'd forgotten actually how bad it was till
yeah,
we literally skipped from the 7th minute to the 51st. It was a
yeah.
shocker. It was not a game for the
We
neutral.
were very much in control the whole time, but we were
We
just
were.
weren't doing anything.
And I even texted out, I can't remember if I messaged you, but I messaged a couple of pals saying, we have been in such control here. It's going to be some laugh when Kelly scored from their first opportunity. And boy, did that turn true here.
I will say actually, I got really annoyed in like the 15th minute because folk were starting to like boo and get annoyed when we were playing passes backwards. And it's like, for the love of God, can we calm down? Like, we're 1-0 up, we're in complete control. Cammy Devlin's got it on the halfway line. It's absolutely fine for him to turn around and go back to his centre half. Not every like a child thinks football has to just be played where you just pass it forward all the time. Like everybody, keep the heat. Calm down. We're doing very well.
You're a very much a patient in possession, aren't you, sort of
Yeah.
player?
And like
Yeah.
the annoying thing though was that I was like,
Don't
but we're
force the
not
issue. Just
we're not even being that patient because we had some really nice moves and they just didn't work out. But it's like they only arrived because we were patient with it. So everybody
yeah,
just calm down.
keep the heat.
Yes.
Yeah, it's actually disappointing that we were probably only one goal ahead at half
Yeah.
time, really. It certainly did feel as though we were really dominant, really in the ascendancy. Just hadn't really capitalized on probably the hardest or most difficult opportunity that we had in that first half to score. We end up scoring. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's a funny old game, isn't it, sometimes?
So after Bobby Wales does well to equalise after a cross,
Good wee player, Bobby Wales.
he
That's a couple of
does.
times I've
He
watched him.
looks
He's
good.
decent.
Aye. He does look good. 5 minutes later, though, Jamie McCart just wanders into the penalty spot area from a corner, completely unmarked, heads it in from a James Penrice corner. Delighted with that. And then,
Sorry, since when have we become like
yeah, it's weird that we're now just
our
good from
our
corners.
delivery's been excellent all season, but now I genuinely feel like if we get a corner, we're going to score.
That's back to back games that we've scored from at least one.
What the hell is happening?
Yeah,
Like
it's so
this
weird.
this doesn't happen. It's great. I love it. And I don't even think that this is like one of Jamie McCart's best efforts. I think he does well to get any form of contact on
Yeah.
it, to be honest. He's basically kind of stooping and leaning forward, just hoping to get anything on it, but it actually turns into a great header. Um, and Kieran O'Hara is helpless. So that was nice to see.
Well, another situation where there was a wonderful header was a long ball's won by Spittle. He heads it forward to Kabangu, plays the ball into the area, and it just kind of spins up in the air. George Grant's lying on the ground, and then he just kind of goes, "Do you think this keeper forgets he can use his hands? I'm going to bank on the fact that he does," and just jumps up and heads it out of the keeper's hands. It goes in. Everybody pauses for half a second because you're like, well, there's no way this has actually happened. And then George Grant runs away laughing as he celebrates. Will we see a weirder goal ever?
In a Hearts game, no. In terms of just weird goals generally, I'm trying to think of. I mean, obviously Darren Bent and the beach ball was
Yeah.
iconic in terms of how weird that was.
There's all those like weird own goals where it looks like the players like placed it into their own corner kind of thing.
Yeah. I, I seem to remember a game in Germany a couple of years back as well where there was a goal given when somebody blatantly heads into the side net and then there's a net
Oh
a
yeah.
hole in the net and it's given
Yeah. It's
and
so
everybody's up
weird.
in arms being like, yeah. So that's probably up there. Or like Louis Garcia's ghost goal for
Oh
Liverpool
God,
against Chelsea
aye.
back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I need to do some more research on. But in terms of
Yeah.
a Hearts goal, I can't think of many, if any, weirder than that.
Yeah.
That was just hilarious. But I, do you know something? I was confident heading into Kilmarnock at home, and I don't know why I tipped a Hearts win, and usually I'm very much kind of I look at the head to head, I look at recent form, kind of the matches that we've played recently, and I think that was probably what tipped it in our favour because our record against Kilmarnock is terrible, particularly at Tynecastle. Um, but here, I don't think there can be many complaints about the result if we're honest. But I'd say more so off the first half was that wasn't a great spectacle. We were the better team. They made a go of it second half, and I think a certain player who's been linked with us was very impressive on that right hand
Well,
side
that's the thing. The
as a
67th minute,
substitute.
Danny Armstrong tries to make it a bit interesting as he comes on, crosses the ball into the box, which is met by Fraser Murray. But they
Jesus
then,
Christ, I forgot about this goal. Craig Gordon, even Penrice to prevent the cross,
and
like
Adam
just get out.
Forrester just seems to
Oh,
not realise that there's Fraser Murray shaped being behind him.
that's yeah, that's one where if we hadn't got the win, that's a goal where you look back and you really give it the beans and kind of
Yeah.
just slate for slating's sake. But do you know what? The team were good enough that we got away with it. And in that type of game, that's probably a good game to make that error in
Yeah.
and
And
to and to
then,
get and to concede that goal in. I know that's weird to say because we obviously don't want to see Hearts concede, but
but if it's ever
you
going to
ha
happen,
yeah, like the result wasn't really in doubt, even though Hearts tried their absolute best to throw it away.
Gordon makes an unbelievable save
He
in like
got
the
a
85th
brilliant. Was that
minute.
the one from Watson?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a great save.
But yeah.
He basically redeems himself.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Craig
like,
Gordon's got a real tendency of doing this in recent matches, whereby he'll make a mistake, kind of coming out for a cross, but then he makes a spectacular save. It's almost like oh yeah, you're Craig
I'm
Gordon.
telling you, he's doing the unlockable achievements where he's just like, how often can you make a massive mistake but then completely redeem yourself later on in the game?
He just loves it. I mean, to be fair, he's done virtually everything in his career. He's
Exactly.
42 years of age. He's as well just spicing it up for the sake of it.
FM's been delayed indefinitely, so he's just doing whatever he wants with the existing game. It's fine. But yeah, so 3-2, another win for Neil Critchley's Hearts coming into this transfer window.
He
Obviously,
sorry, McIver, he
no, you're
needed
fine.
that against Kilmarnock
Aye.
because I voiced my concern on this a couple of pods ago, a couple of months ago, whenever the hell it was, basically saying that Kilmarnock have been his Achilles heel so far.
Yeah.
The first league meeting at Tynecastle, we took the lead. And again, similar to this, we're in control, dominant. All it takes is a quick fire Kelly double and they go on and win the game. The performance down here, but down there was atrocious.
Yeah.
When we're handed that numerical advantage for 85 minutes, can't capitalise, concede a Bruce Anderson pen, and we're left scratching our heads going, what the hell just happened there?
Yeah.
In terms of kind of a hoodoo and the Kilmarnock hoodoo that I mentioned earlier on, both were certainly laid to rest with a dominant first half display, some bizarre goals, and I was going to say luck kind of cancelling itself out or kind of balancing back in our favour because earlier on in the season it felt like nothing was dropping for us. We probably concede the George Grant goal. Do you know what I mean? To
Aye,
some other jobber.
yeah.
Whereas here, what's gone around has come back around, which was nice
Yeah.
to see.
So that then took us into this past weekend where we were travelling to Dundee, a place where I don't have many happy memories, to be honest. What?
Not many Hearts fans do.
No,
I, I was confident pre Kilmarnock. I wasn't as confident heading into this one.
that's very
And
fair.
I think that's because I looked at Dundee's performance against Celtic, where they were minutes away from beating Celtic for the first time since 2001. Um, they obviously held Rangers at home, arguably could have beaten them. They'd just beaten Dundee United in the derby in the cup, had their game the weekend prior against Celtic rearranged for tonight as you listen, but obviously it was for that weekend and
I can't mind.
Ewine got in the way, and damage was done to Parkhead.
They'd beaten Hibs
So
4-1.
battered Hibs, dismantled us with ease at
Yeah.
Dens Park, albeit we terrorised them at Tynecastle. So yeah, was feeling not overly confident heading into this weekend's match, and couldn't have been more wrong, thankfully.
Well, before we get that, we will go around the grounds because, again, there was just lots to talk about. One of the main things is that St Johnstone are just like, fuck yous, everybody that said we were
Jesus
already
wept.
down.
Thanks for the reminder. What a coupon buster that was. I did
Yeah,
have a cracking bet slip that I might share on Twitter because what a Saturday I had. However, St Mirren let me down for even more money. What is that?
yeah.
Who gets beat off St Johnstone at home?
Don't say that because it'll be us.
It won't be us.
Yeah,
Hey, what? Neil Critchley's rip roaring, free
true.
scoring, never boring heart of Midlothian? I don't think so.
Very true. St Johnstone beat St Mirren 1-0. Killie
Shocker.
beat Dundee United 1-0 at home. As
Less of a shocker.
everybody's, it just proves that everybody in this league, apart from Celtic, are much of a muchness, really.
I think the other four outcomes I got are tip draws in both those matches because, as you rightly say, like there's no separating some teams sometimes, but apparently there is.
Yeah.
It's just bizarrely, this must be the first weekend in a wee while that there's been no draws, but that just that was, I mean, mental. Kelly again, like on a rotten run, and they just pull these results out of nowhere on that AstroTurf. Are Dundee United that good? I don't know.
No, I've said this. That Sam Dalby's a total myth, and they're not even that good. They've just got an attractive manager, and everybody's fooled by it. That's all it is.
And they brought in some
Um,
Macedonians and some players
yeah,
from other cool places, and everybody's going, oh,
exactly. No.
rubbish.
I'll tell you the safest bet in world football right now, and that is Aberdeen not
Against
winning games of
Aberdeen, yeah.
football.
Yep, called
Hibs,
that bang on. Hibs 2-0.
yeah, ran out. By all accounts, despite Aberdeen having like 68% possession, the most comfortable winners ever.
What on earth has happened to them? I genuinely cannot remember as bipolar a season anywhere in world football. Like, I is he
They've gone
under?
four.
He's got to be under
He
pressure now.
has to be under pressure now.
Surely.
They've gone four. How is it possible in this league to go 14 games without winning?
Well, Motherwell do it every year and somehow stay up. So,
I know,
but
but that's
but
Motherwell.
I know what you mean though. It is,
Have
and
Motherwell ever
he
gone
spent.
14 without winning?
I think they went 15 last season. Is that right?
Did they actually?
I
Bloody hell.
think. Um, but they do this like they go on streaks. But and back to Aberdeen, like he spent some money there as well, and
They've spent 3 million this window.
it's
This, like, under him. Aye.
it's wild, absolutely wild. And I know they got good money from Miovski. Duke's obviously away now as well. Um, but it is, yeah, really, really strange. I just absolutely mind-boggling. I mean, they could have very easily. Well, they did come back to obviously get to two each against Celtic, but
Mhm.
they were pushing to go on and win that game.
I know.
That just feels like clones now. Like
Yeah.
those are not the same players at all.
It's crazy. And then on the Sunday, it was
How
the
have we drawn to them twice as well?
because
Sorry.
it's us. That's why
It's so
it's
annoying.
us.
Like they're crap.
George Grant, man. Um, Sunday was the day of the Old Firm as Rangers ran out incredibly comfortable 4-0 victors over Ross County. And Celtic, I was going to say, Celtic made it tough for themselves. They didn't really. They were pretty dominant for most of the game, but obviously all the conversation was about the return in Jota, it was like, of course he scored. Of course he scored.
I think all that stuff's been blown out of proportion as well, to be honest. Like in terms of him kind of having the tear in his eye, like people just love to take fun at everybody. I'm not like I don't know what the
Absolutely fair
guy's
play
been.
to him.
I don't know
Like,
what the guy's been through exactly, so
exactly.
I'm not
Fuck
going to
off,
comment
Aidan
on it.
McGeady. I know it's a novelty,
And
Aidan McGeady.
Chris
Yeah,
Boyd talking about his like your brother set up a mental health charity, and all of a sudden now that's just what out the door because it's a Celtic player.
like
Like
Aidan McGeady never
whatever,
shows
get on
him
with
any form of emotion at all. So I know it
it.
might be a
Wanker as
novelty
well.
that other people kind of have thoughts and feelings, but like Jesus, Aidan, it's
Yeah,
insane.
it just. I can't remember what else I was going to talk about there. Like it just is a batshit crazy division this year.
Yeah,
Did you see about the St Mirren pen as well that they should have got the
yeah,
weekend?
where the boy's foot gets clipped.
What is that? And no wonder St Mirren then released that statement. So I was going to say I genuinely can't remember many VAR fuck ups, but I think that was one. And even then, that's not VAR because we see the incident again. That's just
Yeah,
personal interpretation. But um, yeah, in terms of kind of shocks, it was probably St Mirren not beating St Johnstone and us. I think the rest, and maybe, but to a lesser extent, Kelly beating Dundee United.
yeah, totally. Well, the team that travelled to Dens was the Old Faithful for Neil Critchley, the 4-4-2, with a few changes. The main one was George Grant dropping out, and I think a lot of people went, "He's leaving. This is what this means." And then all that happened was Critchley was like, "Nah, he's just played loads, so therefore he's not playing." So Hearts lined up with Craig Gordon in goals, a back four of Adam Forrester, James Penrice as the fullbacks, McCart and Lewis Nielsen coming in for his first start of the season. So obviously he came on as a replacement for Craig Halkett, who injured his hamstring against Kilmarnock. A midfield four of Blair Spittle and Musa Drama returning to the first team, with Benny Beningame and Cammy Devlin as the two, and then a front two of Elton Kabangu and a returning to the starting 11, Lawrence Shankland. What did you make of that team when you first saw it?
Um, the fact that Lewis Nielsen's last start for Hearts was against Istanbul Başakşehir is
That's
mind-boggling.
crazy. I didn't even
That
know
is
that.
crazy. I heard Laurie drop that. Might have been, can't remember. Was it pre-match? No, maybe might have been Scars in the funnel. Anyway, so the back four I think was pretty much. I think it chose itself because
Yeah.
obviously we don't have Daniel Ugoki either, which we could
Yep.
chat about later on. In terms of midfield, delighted to see Blair Spittle back because he's by far and away our most creative influence, I would say, in that
Yep.
quartet, particularly on the left, linking up with James Penrice, Cammy Devlin, and Benny Beningame. Great to see that partnership still. Musa Drama gets a lot of stick, and he's not he's not the finished article by any stretch of
That's
the
putting it
imagination.
lightly.
But I do like his energy, his enthusiasm,
Oh, he
his
tries.
yeah, his work ethic. And I know that these should be basics and these should be kind of non-negotiables for footballers, but there's talented players that often don't try a leg. So I
Barry Mackay.
I would I would rather a Musa Drama in that role. If Neil Critchley believes that he can mold him into a winger, then that's fantastic. I don't believe that's his best position, but I still think we need somebody on that right hand side. Hopefully that's Sander Carton. And in terms of the two up top, delighted to see James Wilson get a rest because I have this fear that he's going to be mismanaged, misused, burnt out. Um, and when you have Lauren Shankland at the peak of his powers, as we saw, that's a very useful asset for this football club to have. I I was torn. I like I think him being taken out of the spotlight and being out of selection has actually proved the best thing that could have happened to him. It appears as though he's played his best games for Hearts in the stands recently. That was until he was back to his brilliant best against a team that he absolutely loves scoring against. So, yeah, in terms of the team, was pretty hopeful, and I think that it's as strong as we could have named realistically. I know we've got January additions to come into the team, but I think that was as good as we could have hoped for in terms of a starting 11 come what, 42 on Saturday.
And how are we even meant to speak about this? If you're listening to this, you know that it is not only our performance of the season, but it's like the best performance we've had in years. Genuinely. So summing it up is going to be quite hard. So I feel like I'm just going to
So
literally just
taxing.
run through everything as we would, and then I'll just pause occasionally so you can
The
offer something.
the stats that Scott Hart stats shared regarding this game were just insane. Like the fact that we hadn't scored five in a top flight away game since what, 99, I think, against like we have never seen the like of this
Yeah,
before. This
yeah,
is
exactly.
literally incredible. And I think it was a win over St Mirren in the 80s, the last time that we scored six. I had just madness, absolute insanity.
Well, in the first 4 minutes, we nearly started the scoring as Spittle finds Penrice, whose cross is met by Shanklin, but Carson tips it away.
That's an
However,
incredible effort, can I just
it's
say?
really good considering the height
The
of the
height it's
ball.
at, exactly, and the
Yeah,
fact that he virtually crouches down. He's like a frog. He gets
yeah.
down on his legs and just tries to guide it over Carson and up and in, but incredibly unlucky. And that was that
The
was the
warning
sign where
shot
you were,
across the bow.
yeah, where you were thinking, oh my God, like who's this guy? Like
Yeah.
he's back. He's well and
Well,
truly back.
he certainly was because in the 14th minute, Elton Kabangu does very well to hold the ball up. He plays it to Spittle, who fires a ball into Lawrence Shankland on the edge of the box, who basically, it was like he got like, I think Tony Anderson said this about Kevin Nisbet on the Terrace podcast where he got like reverse space jammed, where like he
Yeah.
suddenly was like, oh yeah, I'm good. And he just suddenly turned, hit in the one motion, not doing what he's been doing for the last year and just kind of pissing about with it. Just touch, turn, bang into the absolute bottom far corner. It's 1-0. It's deserved.
It's a phenomenal finish. It is. It's like the Midas touch has been rediscovered by that man. There's something about Dundee. Like
I know.
four goals this season, and three of them have come against Dundee, which is just hilarious. I think Laurie said it's 6-5 as well, which is just really objectively funny. When you add in the fact that he's obviously former United as well, I'm sure their fans get a good laugh out of that. So, um, yeah, just this. It was like seeing a long lost friend again, somebody that you haven't seen for a long time, and you chat to them, and everything's just exactly the same. It's like you've never been away from each other. That's what it felt like. It was as though we'd kind of forgotten the nonsense that we've seen for the past 5, 6 months from Lauren Shankland, and it was like, oh my God, he's actually here. Where the hell
Yeah.
have you been?
Well, we all couldn't focus on it for too long because a better goal was then scored two
Oh,
minutes later as Cammy Devlin does brilliantly, aka Hearts 24-25, a season summary, to win the ball back high up the pitch. Musa crosses it in, but it's headed out by Robertson. Spittle touches it once and just bangs a Travella into the top corner. I saw a stat that it was like he scored 7 goals or something for Hearts, and 6 of them have been for 15 yards out or more. Like,
doesn't
just
surprise me.
ridiculous. The finish is unbelievable. And as you were saying, that's one of them that a couple of months ago that sails over the bar and nothing happens and we don't progress. But just now,
Uh,
it does
Undoubtedly.
that.
Yeah, and see when confidence is low, that's something that you might not even necessarily like have like Wes
Try.
Spittle might not have a pop there
Yeah.
exactly. He might kind of pass it on elsewhere, but he's um he's he's kind of similar to us in that it was a slow burn at the start. but now appears to have really found his groove, found his rhythm. It's a phenomenal finish. And this was kind of, yeah, this was us looking really, really good. Really, I was going to say as part of a Neil Critchley mold, like just on the front foot,
Yeah,
asking questions of our opponents, not really giving a shit. Like what comes off great. If it doesn't, we just go again and try something different. Um, but when you've got somebody that can score an effort like that and just pulls it out, not a problem. What a goal! That could be right up there in terms of our goal of the season contenders as well.
yeah, definitely.
I mean, you've got a couple from this game alone, but in terms of sheer kind of precision, and
Yeah.
it's got everything: precision, power. The placement is top notch, absolute postage stamp. Um, yeah, fantastic goal. And I racing into a 2 goal lead, I'm thinking, oh, here we go. Like, because I was not feeling confident at all. Like I say, I thought for all intents and purposes it was going to be a draw because again, Dundee battered us at Dens in what August, early
August.
August,
Yep.
and then we get the better of them at Tynecastle in December. So nobody knew what to expect. However, I don't even think even your most confident, ardent
Aye.
Hearts like dyed in the wool fan would have a bet slip saying Dundee nil, Hearts 6.
Nah.
So it was just a case of again, pretty much like Shankland. I'm going to try this because why the hell not?
Yeah. There was three remaining highlights of the first half. Neil get a third in the 22nd minute as a spittle free kick is palmed out for a corner.
That was a
34th,
weird one. It
that
looked
was
like
a really
it was
weird
either
one.
Lewis Nielsen or a Dundee head. You couldn't
Yeah,
really make it out, but Trevor Carson does the right thing and obviously
yeah.
palms it out because he's unsure.
34th minute, Hearts break by 4-on-3. Kabangu takes it forward and hits it towards the near post, but Carson does well to block it with his arm. This is just emblematic at this point of like Carson keeping the score down, really, because
Yeah,
like it could have been 3 or 4 at this stage.
100%. And again, like this was very on the Hearts, where it was like just like the Kilmarnock game, first half. There's only one team that look as though they're going to score goals and
Yeah.
an edge ahead. We
Um,
thankfully did that. And sorry, McIver, get to
no,
half time, you're thinking it's only 2-0 somehow because we've been well on top, and you're just I was hungry for more. Just like keep just foot to the floor. Let's just steamroller these bastards. I was all for it. Loved it.
well, second half starts, and in the 51st minute, which is lovely, as ever, always nice. Arguably, goal of the game
Oh,
comes
I've watched this countless times.
as you'll be stunned to hear Cammy Devlin does incredibly well to win the ball. He plays it up to Kabangu, give and go with Shankland, who just chips a ball through, and Elton Kabangu, like Gareth Bale in the El Clasico a decade ago, just runs off the pitch, he runs back onto it, and he very quickly realises against Robertson, oh, I've got you. You are not getting me. And in one of those goals that I imagine was great to watch from the Hearts end because you start to
Yeah,
realise, oh, he's
he's
getting
in.
there, he's
Yeah.
in, he's in. And his decision making is like the biggest thing that's impressed me because he goes, I just need to keep this close to the keeper and just roll it underneath him because Carson's going to make himself as big as possible. Just roll it underneath him.
Ah,
3
through the
0
legs.
Hearts. At this stage, Elton Kabangu has 4 goals in 3 games. We'll speak about him obviously again a wee bit more because his finish for the second is probably a
Ah,
better finish.
yeah.
But I know everybody was like, you hope to have uh, a Z Fuke, an Ellis Sims, somebody who comes in January, hits the ground running, and scores goals. But I don't think anybody, considering the situation we were in when he signed, were, could have ever thought it's like, oh yeah, in his first 3 games he'll score 5 goals and look like such an all-round player. It's not that he scored 5 tap-ins. It's like
No.
almost every goal's different.
Yeah, and again, like you don't want to caveat it with, oh, it's only Brechin or the Kilmarnock goal was lucky. Like these two, there is absolutely like you could just put those theories to bed because this is just the third goal is sheer quality. Cammy Devlin does ever so well to win the ball back as he's just been a
He
revelation
is the
under Neil
best
Critchley.
defensive midfielder in the league, barring none. Do you
He's
want some
been
stats?
he's been not well. You could wait.
I'll wait because
Like
I need to get them.
under under Neil Critchley, he has been nothing short of sensational, and it's basic stuff, but it's like he just knows his job. He knows his limitations. He was actually unlucky not to get on the score sheet himself in the second half. The give and go with Shankland. I mean, it's the Shankland volley to set him through is just magnificent. I mean, he looks like he's got Josh Ginnelly up with him again. That's probably the biggest compliment I could pay Lauren Shankland in this situation. I spoke about Wilson and Cabangu potentially forming a partnership. Doesn't matter who Elton Cabangu plays because here it looked like he and Lauren Shankland had been playing together for years. And just the pace, the power, the composure, the finish, the celebration. Oh, the kind of even like the little love heart that he does. I oh, it's man love 2.0. I am obsessed. I really am obsessed. I'm not prepared to have my heart broken in the summer. Just break the bank. I don't care.
So, Joel Sked shared this graphic of percentiles. And for those who don't know how percentiles work, it's compared to every single other player in the league on a scale of 1 to 100. If you are in the first percentile, you are the worst in the league at it. If you're in the 99th percentile, you are the single best player at it. So you want to have high numbers. High numbers is what you want. Are you ready for this with Cammy Devlin?
By all means.
Cammy Devlin in the league this season. Fouls won, 95th percentile. Pressure regains, 94th percentile. Pressures, 88th. Player adjusted tackles, 99th. Player interceptions, 90th. Interceptions, 84. Defensive actions, 93. Aggressive actions, 93. Defensive regains, 97th. Tackles, 99. Dribbles successfully defended, 94.
Interceptions at 84 is pretty poor, isn't it?
Shock it.
See the rest of it.
The only thing he's bang average at is turnovers, where he's 53rd, which just means he's middle of the road. Like he's just like in the middle at turnovers.
The rest of it,
He's
though, Jesus.
he is the single best defensive midfielder in the league. It's unbelievable.
And it's mental to think that he was cast aside pretty much under our previous manager.
Just
It
baffling.
just it is baffling. It really, I can't get my head around that. Um, do you think there's an argument that he'll be the next captain of Heart
He
and
should
Oblique?
be. It's a disgrace if he fucking leaves for 280 grand in the summer.
Portsmouth or New York? I
I
mean,
blame Naismith for that
New
so
York, I would
much.
understand, but just get a new contract.
Yeah.
The fact that he even signed a year's extension, it's like, come on,
But that's clearly just
let's
Naismith
sort
being
that
like,
out
I
one or
don't
two.
see you as
Well,
being
that's
much
obviously to
here.
get the money, isn't it? With the
Yeah.
bump up and the release clause included. That's basically like,
Fucking
yeah,
Stephen
we'll let him
Naismith, man.
leave, but we want some cash. Don't let it happen, Hearts. Don't
No.
do this to me.
Give him all the wages you were going to give Lawrence
I
Shankland last year. It's
thought
fine.
you were going to say the keys to Gorgie or
I
something
mean,
ridiculous
that
there.
should already be in the contract. And then it just kept on coming. The 67th minute,
It was great. It was really, really fun.
Spittle floats in a rubbish cross from a free kick into the Dundee box, and Laurie Dunsire is in the process of saying an easy catch for Trevor Carson. But then Rob Borthwick shouts, "What an idiot!" as Trevor Carson drops it
I did
against
hear
his
that.
own player. And as you were saying, endeavour, trying, go at just being in the right place. Musa reacts first to tackle it into an empty net, and it's 4-0.
Is he a long-term answer for Hearts? Probably not. Is he a player that we could work on? Yeah. I do think that in the situation that we were in, that type of character is kind of vital in terms of persistence, not giving up on lost causes, very much. He's a very for the badge type of player.
Yeah,
Is Musa Drama.
because he's not got the ability, so he's like, I'll just
No,
really be endearing to
but he does
everybody.
exactly. He makes up for it. I like him. Like I
So
don't
do
know.
I.
He's come over from a different climate. Let's just say that. But he's from a nation that basically like have we ever had a Gambian represent Hearts before?
No.
I can't think of any. So that's cool. Like I don't I like him. I feel for him. I feel like he's like I was gonna say my project child, but that's really odd to say. Like I want him to work out. And I don't know. I can't help but have a soft spot for him. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Right, well, Project Child is definitely the title of this episode. But no, he is very endearing. I think he's like
Yes.
the funniest player to watch we've
I
ever
love
had.
him. He's just
As I say,
I've
he's a
no
wish
affiliation.
Darwin Nunes.
That's what I was going to say. I've no affiliation to Liverpool whatsoever, but I can't help but root for Darwin
Yeah,
Núñez
exactly. He's one of my favourite players in the world because I'm just like, I have
because he's
no idea what
nuts.
you're going to do.
He doesn't even know.
Yeah.
I very much get that same vibe with Musa Drama, where it's like I want him to be a more polished product, but by the same score, I don't.
Yeah, because that would take away the fun. He would just be an
Yeah,
Alan Forrest then, where you're just like, oh, we have to
yeah,
have actual conversations about your
yeah. Just
ability now.
a bit boring. Whereas he's just a maniac.
He's
Like,
definitely not boring. He's definitely not
oh,
boring.
absolutely not. And this goal is just really funny. Like Trevor
Yeah.
Carson, who I think is a decent enough
And he
goalkeeper.
had done so well in the game. He kept
Exactly.
it so
Talked
much
about the
lower
saves
than it was
first
meant to be.
half, just drops it on Aaron Donnelly's leg, who's not got a clue. And then Musa just celebrates with his teammates because he's just that type of guy.
Just
I feel like
buzzing.
the entire squad just want him to do well as well,
I know.
which is nice. Um,
Three
yeah,
minutes later,
I can't describe it. I need
yeah, it
to
is a very
work out
unique
what I'm trying to
situation.
say with
Yeah.
Musa Drama, but I can't help but have a soft spot for him.
3 minutes later, somebody who else you have a soft spot for, Kenny Vargas is off the bench. His first action is played through by Shanklin, but Carson does actually very well to save it. However,
That's a good chance from like
yes,
he's he's
it's fine because he does this next thing. 4 minutes
I
later,
know, but he genuinely he's like an ex-girlfriend that you can't help but keep going back to. It's like I'm done with you, but just as I think I'm done with you, she lures you in. That's what Kenneth Vargas does to me. I was happy to wash my hands of Kenneth Vargas.
then he gets this
But
assist.
then he
It's
gets this
like,
assist,
oh,
he gets his goal, and I think he's a young lad from a foreign land. English isn't his first language. He can barely understand the Scots. He's here. He's sacrificed his missus,
can I just
his
say,
kid.
my favourite thing about your rationale behind Vargas is still the language thing, where I just love that you think Kenny Vargas is walking about, and for the last year, he's not understood a single word
No,
anybody's said to him.
no, because I think it's just overlooked. Everybody just deems that these. I mean, what was the Uzbekistani boy that Pep Guardiola played for
Aye.
Manchester City the other week?
And he was like, he doesn't speak English. I'll need to
The
either
young
learn
the young
Russian or
centre half, and he's
Uyghur.
hung out
Aye.
to dry. Like, yes, Kenneth Vargas is at a much more advanced stage, but Manchester City fans would have just looked at him and just expected him to come in and hit the ground running straight away. It doesn't always work like that.
I
I,
love that
I,
you're comparing them to multi-million-pound Man City wonder kids, and then
right?
you've got the goal to
No, no.
complain that he compares himself to it as well.
That's what I was going to say. He sees himself in a top five league, so that's on him.
Well, this assist was a top five league assist because James
As was his
Penrice,
goal.
as was
But
his goal,
yes,
James Penrice swings at the corner. Kenny Vargas does brilliantly. He just flick it round the corner, and Ella Kabangu hits it like a freight train. Just the amount of power he gets in that shot. Trevor Carson, there could be two Trevor Carsons chucking balls about all over the place, and they only get into that. It's 5-0 Hearts. What's going on?
Trevor Carson, John McCracken, Xander Clark, Craig Gordon, stick all four of them in there. Elton Cabangu, my goodness me, how desperate was Laurie to use that Rocket Man as well in
I know
commentary? Love
exactly.
that,
Yeah.
but he's right.
As
Like
the microphones were breaking and weren't they working and everything.
exactly, you just got to make the most of it. Um, I just have. I'm obsessed. I'm genuinely obsessed. I'm such a loser. Like it's so sad, but I really am. I'm not prepared for this.
It's fine. We've got an option to
Just
buy. He'll be here.
put the pen to paper. Just do it now. Just don't even like we've got the cash. Look at the money that we've raised in the January transfer window. Just throw it all. And Tony Bloom owns them anyway, so it's not even like it's going away. Just a wee backhander. Come on, man. Vlad used to do it back in the day, Tony. Come on. Get it done.
Um, 10 minutes later, it was nearly actual goal of the season, as about every single Hearts player played one-touch passes, as it
Oh,
eventually ends up at Alan Forrest, who breaks
70s
through.
Brazil.
Yeah, breaks through, but his shot saved. From that corner, Cammy Devlin has a shot deflected onto the
Oh,
bar.
I was unlucky. He was desperate as well when
Yeah.
we came to get on the score sheet.
Because that's
Bless
the
him.
thing. We're speaking about this. I think Devlin was man of the match in that game.
Oh, it was
Like,
excellent.
he was
But
unbelievable.
McIver, you could be running out of candidates for it,
Aye.
genuinely.
And then the final action, substitutes combined, as Alan Forrest plays a through ball to Kenny Vargas, who apparently was just in a place where there was no Dundee defenders. The Dundee defenders had just been like, you can what? I'm going home. There's no point because he has about 40 yards of space, and this time he makes sure 6-0 Heart of Midlothian away from home.
In the top tier is just obscene. That Vargas chance is so anti-Vargas. Like he's got
Aye,
so much time,
yeah.
but he actually does the right thing in that he takes his time and picks his spot, slams home.
Every one of our forwards got a goal and an assist.
It was genuinely faultless.
Yeah, literally.
The
Everybody, the back. Lewis
absolutely
Nielsen was
faultless.
amazing for his first start. He won everything in the air.
Michael Steinwender just continued the kind of new centre half theme with
Yep.
a
He knew he
100%
scored.
a 100% pass accuracy.
Yep.
So we've got Jamie McCart that just wins it up in the air, and Mikey Steinwender just pinging balls.
Yep. Neuenhoff
Life,
was on the bench. He's
life's good.
alive.
Thought he was just an afterthought.
Yeah.
Um,
What a
yeah,
day.
what a day indeed. What a weekend. Like,
And
wow. Many a time this football club surprised you, often for the worse.
yeah,
But that was one that was for the ages. 6-0.
yeah.
Who on earth would have predicted that?
I know.
Be that.
There's
Not a
nobody.
single soul. Unbelievable.
So that was the weekend. However, we now move on to the month of January as a whole, because as we were recording this last night, the window smashed shut on the 3rd of February.
That's what I was going to say. The January transfer window always slams shut on 3rd of February. I mean,
So
what
weird.
utter woke nonsense.
Just really, really weird. But I'll take it because we got somebody else in right at the very last second. However, before that, the last time we spoke, we hadn't actually signed Sander Khartoum. The Norwegian joined us from Brann. Experience 29. He will take a wee bit of time to get up to speed, considering his season ended in November, much like Steinvender. I think with Steinvender as well, if there wasn't injuries, he wouldn't have been here already, like in terms of playing and on the bench.
Yeah.
I think he would have been in a Khartoum situation. And then, as I say, yesterday, right at the very end, Hearts made some defensive recruitments as they brought in. I was about to say he's not a prodigy anymore,
He's
but
28.
he's 28, but very highly viewed left back Harry Milne from Partick Thistle. There was rumours of a pre-contract happening to sign him in the summer, but with pretty much only Luke James Penrice to be available at left back, we needed somebody in. Harry Milne came to us. As a result, Ethan Drysdale went to Partick as a like for like to get experience. And we also had quite a few outs that came out of absolutely nowhere.
Yeah.
Because obviously we've already spoken about the ones that kind of heard about. Boyce went out. Macaulay Tate went on loan to Livingston just as a loan.
Rolls.
Sensible. Very sensible. We spoke about roles, stuff like that. Then, immediately after the Kilmarnock game, it was reported that Daniel Oyegoke was going to be leaving for €1 million, which ended up happening, to Hellas Verona in the Serie A, which was like,
Mental.
sorry, excuse me? And then, on deadline day, Malachi Boateng went to Plymouth for apparently about 400 grand. So if you look at the window, how successful would you say it was? It seems like we've kind of brought in like £2 million worth of money.
Near perfect, really, realistically. Um, would have killed for a wide player or two.
I worry we're still
Um,
light at centre half.
I, I get that. I do get that. Obviously, with Halkett being out, I don't know whether the club were trying to sign another.
It's like
Um,
Halkett's out, Rolls is sold, Oyegoki's sold, Kent's already out, and Kingsley's out.
yeah.
And we
So
brought
you're
in
left with
Steinvender
who is competing with Jamie McCart
and Lewis Nielsen.
Lewis Nielsen. But McCart's always going to play because he's the
Yeah.
most experienced
The
out
worry
the
is I
three.
more have is
He's the
like,
only left-footed one out the
what
three,
happens if
so on
McCart
that
gets
side,
hurt?
yeah, that's for another day. Um, we just love an ex-Partick Thistle left back, but if Harry Milne's going to be as good as James Luke Penrice, then I'm all on board.
Yep.
Bless his soul. He is absolutely delighted to
He
be
is
here.
buzzing.
And you can tell that he's not quite had that media coverage
Nah.
at part-time level. And then
Yeah.
even with Thistle at kind of full-time,
He's
I
just
love
like,
it.
I'm buzzing. I put on the
I,
kit and I can't believe it.
I love it. 3 years ago, I was playing for Cove Rangers, working part-time in a bar, and I think he was studying for a degree.
Yeah.
And now, like,
I
what
didn't realise he
fair
actually
play.
rejected full-time football quite a few times to get his degree.
Incredible. Absolutely love it. It's like the ultimate rags to riches. I, Partick, their fans are devastated he's away.
Oh, they're gutted, eh?
Absolutely gutted, which is usually a good sign.
Yeah.
Because there's a couple players that I can think of in recent times where we've been like, yes, see you later, whatever,
Yeah.
catch you. Or equally, we've signed from English clubs that have gone, their fans are like, parts up when
Yeah.
you come, you take them. Um, so yeah, I think bar a winger or two, I'm pretty pleased.
We did. I
Again,
know what you mean by the way with a winger because it's like I would more extrapolate it to like a wide player because we don't play with wingers, but we play with width. But
but that's what I was going to say. I think Carter will be that.
yeah, under
He'll be
Critchley's,
he'll be the
we don't
player
have out
Spittle
and
on
out
the right
wide
hand side.
player. Yeah,
Exactly. I think your Foresters and Penrices will bomb on,
yeah.
which leaves Cartums and Spittles to occupy central areas or look to kind of cut and cross,
We
whatever.
have a lot of
Um,
inversion as well with everybody that isn't our fullbacks.
yes, yes. So I think, yeah, I, like, and maybe kind of a centre forward as well because Shankland, Cabangu, anything happens to either of them, again, James Wilson comes in and I think he's a top talent. But again,
Overplaying them and stuff like that.
overplaying him or overexposing him
Yeah.
at this young age. So yeah, realistically, in terms of what I expected, I'd say that the board have done and the gaffer, the recruitment team, whoever, have done a pretty good job in comparison to what I thought and hoped for. How on earth Daniel Oyegoke has got to move to the Serie A is
This is the
incredible.
thing though.
Fair play.
I've always maintained he's nowhere near as bad as our fan base tried to make out. I
100%.
think the Serie A
As a
really
centre half.
suits. Yeah, I think the Serie A really suits him because he's big, he's strong, and he's quite fast. So if they do convert him into a centre half, it's like, yeah, I can absolutely see why like a team would be like, we can turn this guy into what we want.
There's also kind of a weird affiliation at the minute with Scottish football and Italian
Yeah,
football,
true.
whereby Liam Henderson can open the gates, didn't he? And now we've had
Yeah.
Lewis Ferguson go over, we've had Josh Doy go over, we've had Aaron Hickey go over. I think that your Serie A scouts believe that Scotland is a real hotspot for young talent. Now, granted, Daniel Ugoke is English, but they've probably looked at his physical attributes and gone, right, well, for how young he is, he's built like a brick shit house.
Yeah.
He's got a bit pace. It's as you say, where technically, I mean, as a defender, is there a greater nation to go to for your
Aye,
development in Italy?
exactly. Yeah, it's very true.
So, what a move for him. A great move for us. Good money. Um, and yeah, wish him all the best. It'd be quite the tale if he developed into a
Aye.
top class centre half. Um, the Boateng
I'm a
thing
bit
just
more hesitant about the Boateng one because he's
is,
22 and I thought he's been good whenever he's played for us.
yeah, strange one.
But by all
Really strange.
accounts, and we're just going to have to get used to this, Boateng
100%.
scored really low on all the algorithm points that Jamestown look for in a centre mid. He scored like the lowest by an absolute mile out of all our available players. And
So
it's like,
Chase,
that's it. You do not play for us if that's the way it is. And if it works, I'm kind of like, yeah, that's fine. I saw, like, I think we
am I right
mentioned
in
it.
saying he's not started since before Christmas? And look at the
Yeah,
run
St
that they've gone
Johnston at
on as
home.
well, which again is like,
St Johnston at home
yeah,
was his last
it's a bit of
game.
it's a shame, but again, for how little he was here, tidy bit profit. I think
Yeah.
he's decent. But ultimately, I think with the analytics, we're aiming to do better, aren't we? So that's quite exciting. It's just a shame that it has to come at somebody like Malachi Boateng's expense.
And that's the thing. Brighton, USG, and Como fans have all universally said do not get attached to players. Players can just leave on a day
Too
with under
late.
this model.
Too late. Elton Kabangu, on you come, son.
Well, if he's here, my stance on Kabangu, and I know it's 3 games, but it's like if we do sign him permanently summer, he won't be here the next summer.
What an absolute wanker I am. I am the one that is I
You get
drum this
so annoyed
home
at me when
exact
I launch
all
out the
the time.
players.
Everybody saying, "Oh my God, this he's the best player in the world. Like we've done so well to get him." Blah blah blah. And here I am biting my hand every 5 minutes.
Yeah,
Ah,
shocking.
what an
Absolutely
ass.
shocking. But hopefully we can take the tequila song and take it to the place where I kind of think of it
Come on,
most
dude.
in Paisley, because I just think of
It's,
St Mirren fans singing it as we travel on the Monday night in the Scottish
I
Cup.
think of Tagawa as well. And
Yeah,
one of his
true.
final
Aye.
contributions was that goal in Paisley.
Um, oh, we're doing so well.
No, I'm full of confidence heading into this. I'll be honest.
I'm never
What
confident about going to Paisley, even though
this
I
was
think
a
our record there's been actually all right
it's been
recently.
decent recently, but I think this is a game where there's no fear. What could we possibly have
We
to
shouldn't.
fear?
They've won 1 in 7.
St Mirren have just lost at home to St Johnstone.
Very
We are a
true.
far better team than St Johnstone are. Again, don't want to go too deep, but in 2012 we went to Paisley en route to winning this very competition. These little omens I will gladly take. And I think it's going to be a similar scoreline. I think we're going to win 2-0. There, said it. And you know
I'll
who's going to
go.
score?
I will go 2-1 us in
Okay.
extra time
Yeah, there is that. That would
because I
delay the draw.
I
That
literally
would be
just
annoying.
remembered that it could go to extra time.
Yeah, the SFA will be sweating if the draw is to
No,
be made and it goes
no,
to
we'll
no.
win on pens.
Oh my God, no! Why have you done this? Why on earth would you do
That's what's
that?
going to happen. I'm going to hate my life, but that's what's going to happen.
Oh Jesus, I don't think I could handle that.
Not near Qatar, but it's
Oh
going to happen. As
no!
long as we win, I don't care.
Yeah, exactly. Just get in that hat.
Yep, and then we'll draw fucking Celtic, and it'll be like, oh well, it was pointless anyway. It doesn't matter.
That's
Right.
100% what's going to happen as
Yeah,
well.
I
Or
know.
we'll get Aberdeen at Pittodrie after I've
Aye,
slated them in this
exactly.
episode,
Yep,
and then we'll get beat up there like we always do, bar last time.
yep,
So yeah.
exactly. Well,
We'll be their first win, bar they'll literally win only this competition. They'll somehow squeeze past Dunfermline, who are on the up with the new
yep,
owners and the feel good factor around the club and everything. Aberdeen will be ranked till the next Scottish Cup game that they play, and it'll be us, and they'll do us up
no
there.
win. Well, I'm very impressed that my
Come on,
voice has
Hearts.
managed to hold out
You've
this
done well,
long,
mate.
but we
You've
do
done
have a
well.
final point, the quiz. Now, I wrote this quiz about 6 hours ago as I had just taken a lot of ibuprofen. So
Oh Christ! So you're gonna be drugged up to the eyeballs,
a lot of
basically,
these
to
questions you'll be
say
like, I think this could be your first 5 out of 5 because 3 out of the 4
it won't be.
answers you've already given me during the episode.
Oh, nice. Well,
So,
it certainly won't be because I'm bound to fuck it up somehow.
right, you've got a true or false, a multiple choice, and 2 normals. And here's the bar for the quality
Oh
of
dear
the
God.
song. What song is our newest signing associated with?
You mean Harry Milk?
Yes.
Daddy Cool.
He's 1 for 1. Hooray!
Harry, Harry Milk.
I didn't know that's
Okay.
why they did it initially. I was like, why have we played Boney M over that? And I was like, oh wait, did they
Why are
sing
we playing
Harry
Xander
Milk?
Clark's song
Yeah,
right on here?
exactly. You're 1 for 1. I feel like I'm going to be saying that a
Nice.
lot.
Oh dear God.
Question number 2. It's your multiple choice.
Okay.
As you mentioned earlier on in this
This will be
episode,
a laugh when I get this wrong.
Hearts scored 6 goals in a top flight away game for the first time since when? February 1986, February 1987, February 1988, or February 1989.
1988
He's 2 for 2! Hooray!
against St Mirren, wasn't it? Yeah,
Yeah,
that is right.
yeah.
That's
True or false?
baffling.
It's
Oh
insane.
no.
Literally just not in our lifetimes by
I
more
know.
than a decade. Crazy.
Yeah, exactly. And my dad used to hammer home to me, "Oh, you're lucky. When I was growing up, we were shit." Well, clearly not. You're at it. I've never seen us be a ball head away from a league title. How about
True or false? Half of Lawrence Shanklin's league goals this season have come against Dundee.
that? That would be false. So 75% of them have.
He's 3 for 3.
Oh my God.
Question
I'm
4.
gonna get this. Who am I wrong? But it's gonna be something that we've already
I
done.
know exactly. Yeah, for full awareness, folks, I've never been more convinced that this is the Who Am I someone we've
MacGyver could have
done.
just checked the list, but I feel like I'm gonna have to start mentioning him with this every week.
Yeah,
Or we put it up on Twitter and we just
and we
update
just
it
update it.
week upon week upon week.
Question number 4. To get full marks in the normal quiz, who was the last goal scorer for Hearts versus St Mirren?
That'll be a
Oh no.
4-0 at Tynecastle. Blair Spittle, no?
Is that your answer?
Well, you've got me doubting myself. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he got the last one. James Wilson got the third. Oyugoki got this first. Shit. Yes, Blair Spittle. I'm going Blair Spittle.
Oyegoki got the second. He's Raker. That
Who
I
got the
can't remember
first?
who.
That's
I
right.
can't remember who got the first.
Wilson got the third. Spittle got the fourth.
Blair Spittle got the fourth, and then he got cramp as he celebrated and like went
That's
down.
terrible. How did I not know that?
And the fear was, oh shit, we've been class. Spittle's been class as he pulled his hamstring as he hit it. But no, he didn't. Did it wasn't Penrice, was it?
No wonder we forgot who it was.
Who was it? Was it Barry Mackay?
Kenneth Vargas.
Was it actually? Amazing. Amazing. I have no memory of that goal.
How
Well,
do I?
you've got 4 out of 4 of the drugged up quiz. That, to be honest, I think calling it a quiz is doing
The drugged
quizzes
up
elsewhere.
discussion.
This is, yeah, exactly. It's just you telling me things that I've written down already.
Me telling you things that I've already stated
Yeah,
during this episode. It's very repetitive. We do
exactly.
apologise.
I'm
Well,
ill.
I apologise. It's MacIver's fault.
Yeah, I'm ill. Sue me. Are you ready for the Who
Who
Am
is
I?
this? Who am I?
So, I
John
played.
Sutton.
Yeah, exactly. I played in Scotland, Lithuania, and Ukraine. My 2 memorable moments in a maroon jersey was scoring against both sides of the old firm. I had to retire though after leaving Hearts and one more club due to a horrific ankle injury despite only being 29 at the time. And when signing for Hearts, I was heralded by the manager as one of the good ones. Who am I?
Uh, one of the good ones. I like it.
We'll get this man's Wikipedia page up.
This has surely got to be one of the Lithuanians under Vlad stroke Burley. I've got a Davidas Chesnauskas in my head
Okay.
because Mikalunas played for bloody ages and he only retired a couple of years ago. Yet Chesney just appears to have gone into the wilderness. One of the good ones. That's hilarious. Um, Scotland, Lithuania, and Ukraine, though. That's talk about three obscure nations to play
I
football in.
know.
Right. Okay. I'm gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna ask for the position. That'll give me a better chance. What position did this player play, McIver?
According to midfielder. According to midfielder, it's Wikipedia. According to Wikipedia, it's a midfielder, but I actually have more specifics for you because it just says position midfielder. But then in the actual blurb of his Wikipedia, it says is an attacking midfielder capable of playing wide right or centrally.
Okay. Um, one of the good ones. Jesus. There's no point asking the clubs because I'm going to assume, given the sheer mentalness of the other two nations, that Hearts would be his only Scottish club. What did you say about the Old Firm? That his two most memorable
The
moments with the
two
Old Firm.
memorable moments in the maroon jersey was scoring against both sides of the old firm.
My two are the most two,
My two memorable moments.
which implies it was pretty shit. Um, right. Oh God. Is this going to be like a Kaznavicius or something? Or a Benny Useless? Um, I'm certain we've done both of them.
Well, we might have also done this person as well, so it might be one of them. Did he eliminate them? Because it might be something we've done.
So just basically tell me that is one of those two. Right. Oh God. I can't think of anything else to ask. If I ask nationality, it's bound to come back a Lithuanian, but then I suppose I've got only then 70 to choose from as opposed to 700. Um, I kind of don't want to ask that because I feel like it's a waste, but I don't need the clubs and like the period that they've arrived in. You see, because if it's somebody like if McIver was to, I'm just talking aloud to the listeners here. If McIver was to reveal that Best Legia, like if they were a Bosnian, I could pin it to Best Legia, but because you wouldn't mention that it's the club record signing because then that would just be abundantly obvious as to who it is. Oh, yeah, oh. Let's go for yeah. What nationality was this player? Lithuanian. Ah,
Lithuanian.
you bastards. Um, right. Chesnowski surely had more than the old firm. I feel like it's Kiznavicius, and we've done Kiznavicius. I'm gonna go for Kiznavicius. Can't remember his first name. Was it Andreas? Andreas
You're
Kiznavicius?
very close to the name, but it's not that. It's Ivaskevicius.
Ah, he actually was all right.
He
That's
was
annoying.
alright, yeah. He was fine. He played 15 games, scored 3 goals.
See, that's not bad. That's better than most centre
Two of
forwards
them,
around that
two
time.
of them were against the old firm.
So wait, hold on a second. Do you think that we've what was it? Ivaskevicius?
Yeah, Kestutis Ivaskevicius.
Kęstutis Ivaskevicius.
I don't think we have,
I don't
but we
think you
might
have
have
either. I
done.
think no, I think you might have got away with that.
Get in! And you've not got 5 out of 5, which is my aim in life to make sure you never get 5 out of 5.
Oh no, Audrius Kiznavicius was episode 120. That was Richard's guest appearance. What was this guy's name again? Ivaskevicius.
Kestustis
Kęstutis Kęstutis
Ivaskevicius.
Ivaskevicius. I, I'm just having a quick glance. I don't think we have. So fair
Get
play. Well
in!
done, McIver. Good
I'll
work.
take it. But
How on
yeah,
earth did
so
he pop into your skull?
because I googled Hearts versus St Mirren in Paisley and got a random game for 2007 where he was an unused substitute.
as good a reason as any to use him as a who am I.
Literally
Thomas,
everybody else in that game we'd either done for Who Am I's or was like Roman Bednar. And it's like, okay, well, we can't do that. That's too easy.
Thomas Kanchelskis, 146. Don't remember him.
No.
Ricardas Beniusis. Yeah,
Yeah.
we've done Benny Useless. I feel like you always just chuck a Lithuanian at me. Like
We've
I can't
got
remember. All,
800 of them.
all I needed to remember was Novakovas for his assist for Kevin Kyle and literally nothing else.
I like them.
Chesnauskis and Michelunius. And that's it. The rest I could gladly forget.
Miko was the best.
Miko, Chesney,
Chesney, then
Novakovas. Yeah,
Novakovas. Aye.
I would agree.
But
So
yeah,
remember when Miko was booed by Hearts fans because of his dive for
yeah, that
Lithuania
was
against Scotland?
pathetic. I would
That
have
was
cheered them.
hilarious.
I would have cheered them. Well in. That's just objectively hilarious that he did that. So funny. Well in,
That's
Miko.
probably my outstanding Miko memory. That and him putting the Hearts top on the corner flag as we battered Hibs 4-0. And he's
And
like,
when he fought the linesman.
what a boy, man. We need more of these
I'll
characters.
miss him.
He's the Musa drama of then. We need more of these
He
characters.
only retired like last year.
Yeah, that's right. Because
He retired
again, like
18 months ago.
that was what put me off guessing him. It was like 29. So wait, so hold on a second. How did Ivas? What happened to Ivas?
He severely injured his ankle in a game in November 2013. And after 7 surgeries, they were just like, nah, you just can't play again.
I think this is bullshit. If a Lithuanian's like a cop out, who am I answer? Let's be honest. I mean, the rest of that quiz was emphatically done. Incredible knowledge, a
Oh,
display of
yeah. Just
age and everything.
outstanding knowledge and totally not affected by my mental and physical state.
Hey, I'd retain St Mirren and Aberdeen and all these other
Well
countless
done.
trousers that we dished out on the road. But
Well, you
yeah,
dare remember Ivas Kevicius, which is the only important thing.
I do and I don't.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
basically
I remember the name. I don't really remember him.
Oh no, I tell a lie. Velichka would be high up on the list.
Yeah,
of Lithuanians.
Velichka would be.
Good.
I mean, like Zal, obviously. Like
Of course.
Zal's in his own league, basically.
Yeah, you could probably draw up a top 5.
Yeah, like Zal, Velichka. I'd put Miko above Velichka.
Miko, Chesney, and Novakovas.
Yeah. Yeah, that probably is the best 5 to play for us. Considering we did have like
That's your
800.
top 5 Lithuanians.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's probably that 5, but
If you've
go
got a
for
bit of
it.
Lithuanian,
Yeah, exactly.
feel free to get in touch.
let us know. And if you have enjoyed the show generally, please let us know on your podcast platform of choice. Massively helps out. If you've enjoyed watching us, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Perth to Paisley on all the socials. perthpaisley@gmail.com if you want to fire us over an email. Adam, where can they get you on all the socials?
You can find me religiously studying Kestutis Ivas Kevicius's Wikipedia page at Adam T. Kendall.
I am just shocked that I managed to get through this. So I'm delighted that it's done. I hope it
Good
wasn't
effort.
too much a nightmare to listen to. We will be back next week speaking about all the fallout from the St Mirren game, anything else that happens. But until then, we'll see you next time. Bye bye.
Come on!